The following takes place between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. on Zoom.
Previously on 58 keys. On the last 58 keys.
Previously, look,
58
who's
keys.
hosting the call?
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Thank you. Hello. Right, I'm William Gallagher. This is 58 Keys. As ever, it's about how writers like you and me can get more out of our Macs, our iPhones, our iPads. And in this particular case, it's about how you can use a tool that isn't a writing app at all, but will get you more time to write. This is part 2 of using OmniFocus, a to-do app, a task manager. And last time, what I went through is I showed you the dozens of ways, it seems, of just getting an idea, a thought, an idea, a job, a task, anything out of your head into OmniFocus so you can forget about it and get on with your writing, or get on with
any task, any job.
Get on with any writing, any job, any work that you've got to do. Any single thought you've got, whether it is a story idea, whether it's buying milk, whether it's something to do with your other jobs, your other commissions, anything. It pops into your head and it's going to stick in there unless you do something with it. So what you do is you get it out and you put it into OmniFocus. Get on with what you've got to concentrate on now. That's what helps you get through more things. That's what helps you get things done. That's what gets you the time to write more. So this is what happens next when you've got it out of your head and when you come to do something about all that. In part 2, the final part, sort of how to use OmniFocus on 58 keys. So here's what it looks like. Actually, this is OmniFocus on my Mac. This is a selection of things that were just, on my mind, and I dumped in there.
We've got a new task. We've got a new job.
What's the new one? Oh, you're going to enter it, are you?
We've been asked in the comments to show using task paper and shortcuts with OmniFocus.
All right. There you go. I see it there. Cool. Thank you very much. Everything syncs between iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, all of that lot. But anyway, wherever you are, wherever you've said it, whatever you've done, it's in OmniFocus and it's in this thing called the inbox. And I look at this list of things and, well, look at this one. Film fake Zoom video. Yeah, I know it's an old joke, but what can you do? I've certainly have done it now, haven't I? So let's just tick and it's done. So satisfying. But there is a bit more to this. You could, I suppose, use this as your complete to-do manager, that inbox, because you put it in there, you tick it when you're done. What more could you possibly want? Well, as it turns out, just the most amazing amount of other things. Let's see. How can I? Let me actually that new one that just came in. Do an episode about task paper. So that's the 58 keys episode I will do. You notice as I hover over it, I get things like project here. Let me click in there. If I just start writing 58, there's 58 keys. Hit return, and now that task is in a project. If I put there so you can see it better, called 58 keys general. The thing with all of this is, I have lots of projects, right? I mean, just like you, I have lots of things to do. The things to do around the house, things to do with the Writers Guild, where I'm deputy chair here in the UK. Talking to you, 58 keys. There are lots of distinct things I do regularly, and I have them all in projects in OmniFocus. I might group them together into folders with projects in them. So for the Writers Guild, I do a regional monthly newsletter, but I also have various duties as a deputy chair, and I keep them together in a folder, but separated into different projects. And you'll see how useful that is as we go along, but basically the idea is you get something into the inbox, you assign it to a project. Now, all you're doing is putting it in a different list, really, isn't it? You put it in the inbox list. Now I've put this one in 58 keys. Project list, if you like. I can do that and then just kind of clear it out of the inbox. That doesn't sound like much, but it is. First I've got it out of my head, and now I've cleared it out of the inbox, but I know that project is in there waiting for me the next time I look for it, and also the next time that I really have to know about it. Let's look at another example. Invoice Acme Co. Well, as it happens, I have a project called general finances. General finances. And I think actually that's due. Well, I'm doing the work at the moment. I'll have finished it tomorrow. So, tomorrow. Okay. And there it is. It's listed in the date. Or actually, it's in 2 weeks' time. Let's put the date in for that. Or maybe it's in 3 days' time. And OmniFocus has worked out there. Or how about just this? Next Tuesday. And it works out the date for me. And now, next Tuesday, that may be gone from the inbox, but next Tuesday, that item is going to be in my list of things that I've got to do today.
Here's actually the same thing on my iPhone. If I tap on a task like that, I can pop in the project or the date here. But you can see there are many more options. I can flag a task, say it's important, for example.
Two of my favourite things that I want to show you. Let's have a look at this haircut one. I probably shouldn't, but I have a miscellaneous project. There you go. When's it due? About 4 weeks. Okay. It's worked out the date. That's fine. But I can also do this. Scroll down to here. If I click on repeat every, well, let's say every week. Style clearly is my thing. I want my hair cut every Thursday, every single week. Or maybe on the month, I want it on the last day of the month. Well, let's take it back to weeks. So I just have 4 weeks. Repeat every 4 weeks. And so now it'll come up in about 4 weeks, exactly 4 weeks time. And on my list for the day will be get a haircut. And I will go do this probably around that time. I will tick it as being done. And as soon as I've ticked it being done, OmniFocus obviously wipes that one out, but it puts another get haircut in for 4 weeks or so on from that. Repeating tasks. So, because so much of what we do is repeating, isn't it? But then there's also this. I don't think this is unique to OmniFocus, but it's very few to-do apps I've tried have it. It's this one here called the defer until date. How to explain this one? Well, actually, today I've just written 5 articles that were all. I was writing up interviews I've done. I've done 12 interviews myself, and I've been sent, I think, 9 or 10 videos of other interviews, and my job is to transcribe them and to create an article about each one. Fine. I mean, it's really interesting stuff. I knew who I was going to interview. I knew the details. I knew everything about it. But I knew everything about it at kind of 2 weeks or so before I needed to do it. In fact, 2 weeks before I could do it. Just because of the way this project happened to work. I mean, you get this on so many things, don't you? Something else had to happen first, and that something else was being done by someone else. So even though I knew every detail, I could put it all in the to-do app. 12 interviews of mine, 10 of somebody else's. With mine, I could have put in who it was, the fact that I've got to arrange the interview, the fact that I've got to conduct the interview, then transcribe it, then the article. I could have done 12 times that or 20 times that, whatever it was. Could have done all of that, and it would have sat on my to-do list for, as it happens, about 10 days, 15 days. I could not fit, no matter what I wanted to, I couldn't do any of those until someone else had done their bit, which was obviously going to take some time, because a lot of people are here. I knew it was coming. I still couldn't do it. I did not want to open up my to-do list and see 20 times 5 tasks sitting there, throbbing at me every day, saying, you've failed, you haven't done this, and making me scroll through to find the stuff I had to do. So what I did instead was, I did enter all the tasks into OmniFocus, of course, but I also set a defer date. I set the defer date, I think in this case it was to August the 20th, 28, 20. And now, as I go through OmniFocus every day, I do not see any of those tasks. I can if I want to. If something comes up that changes, if I get some detail comes in that means I need to change something, I can go straight to all of them and change them. But every day, as I go through doing what I've got to do, going through what I want to do, what I look to do next, I simply don't see any of those because I cannot do them yet. And then come the first day that I can, there they are. Now, I could have split it down further. I could have done different dates for all of them, but I didn't. I just said the whole thing starts now because I also had a deadline for them all. It was one deadline for the lot, and in fact it's tomorrow, so need to hurry with that one. But OmniFocus, I got all the details in my head. I didn't have to keep remembering it myself, didn't have to keep thinking about it. It was all in there, and it was hidden until I needed to do it. So, first thing, actually, every morning, I go here, I check the forecast view in OmniFocus. There's a date with what's going on with things, but this is the thing I really want. Today, filming this on Sunday, as you can tell, and this is a list of all that's left for me to do today. This is important because this is what I've got to do today. These are all tasks that, as I went through it, I knew Sunday the 30th was the deadline, and I just put them in. Fine. You see these colours though, the red ones, that's a way of quickly seeing that some of them are late. Yellow means they're going to quite soon. And then we have some dates here. This is to do with the calendar. There isn't a calendar in OmniFocus, but what it does is it pulls in your calendar details and it shows them here. These are two things that were all through the day. If I had a meeting that was at 5 p.m. or something, then somewhere down here it would show it. So that with one look you can see what you've physically got to do, the tasks you've got to achieve, and how your day is going to be broken up, if at all, by meetings or anything like that. One view, one perspective, as it's called, to show you everything you need to do. One thing I want to know, I mean, I'm feeling a little bad telling you that I'm late on two of these things, but I'm not really. It's probably a fluke of just how I happen to work and the sorts of writing jobs that I get, but I only rarely actually have a deadline that's to a particular minute. Usually a deadline is by a certain day. So I know today I have to finish this RTS, Royal Television Society quiz questions. I have to finish it today because I've got to deliver it first thing tomorrow morning. So today's the day to write it. This stuff about reading a script a day, 1 hour on a novel that I'm writing on, I don't care when I do it, as long as it's done during the day. This one about preparing for an interview is coming. Well, actually, that interview is a few weeks away, but as it happens, I've got quite a lot to do with it. So I've got that in there for today to kind of start working on it. But I don't have to start it at 2300 hours. I can start it at any time. Unless you specify a time, OmniFocus will just default to one. I think it puts it in at something like 8 a.m. if you just say the day. I'm sure there's default somewhere you can change, but I never bother. 8 a.m. that'll do me. I don't care about the time.
You have a couple of appointments.
Do care about Siri.
All day tomorrow.
Yeah. Earwigging what I'm doing about appointments. But as for times, fine. If I do want to specify a time now, I can just click straight in. In fact, let's change that one because 2300 does seem a bit late. 2100, off we go. It's still coming up. But I look at this. This is the bit I want you to concentrate at. This is the most important thing. These are things I have got to do. That is by no means what I have on my plate, what I could be doing, what maybe I should be doing, but it is what I must do.
Forecast on whatever device, it shows me what has to be done, so that I do that, and then I know that I've done at least enough for the day, and that is
this forecast view. By the way, I said it's a perspective. That's OmniFocus's term for a way of slicing through your tasks, really. A way of looking at them all, examining them in a different way. In this case, in the what have I got to do right now kind of way. And you need that because, well, just take a look at this. You remember I said I had lots of projects to do? That's all the work, all the clients, everything I'm generally on, and every one of these, I mean, let's just pick them at random. I've got to plan a session for that. I've got to keep, I think, I'm not doing anything for them at the moment, all sorts of stuff that I have got to remember. There's my shopping list, including, if you looked very, very quickly, my current jeans size. Let's get away from that. All of those tasks came out of my head, went into the inbox, and then later when I got around to it, I put them into a project. Some of them with dates, a few of them with dates, most of them not. Some of them also with, you keep seeing this word tag. You remember when I was in the inbox and I floated over here, there was a tag word there. And here in the forecast view, I have a tagged today section. Tag is a little description, a little label. In this case, what you're seeing here is anything that I have said I should probably look at today. Give it a tag of the word today. And that's a special tag. OmniFocus will just display it there underneath all the other stuff you've got to do. Here's another one here called This Week that I created. If I click on there, well, that's really what I've got to accomplish this week for it, most of it. This particular one was last week, and I'll definitely get to it. But what I've done is I have added a tag. I mean, that one actually has a date on it of tomorrow and things to do. The rest don't, because I can't stand fake dates. That's the thing. What I like is to put a date on when it's a real date. When it doesn't have a real date, it just goes in raw, but occasionally I will add a tag for all sorts of reasons.
I'll tag some things as being phone calls or emails, for example. So I get 10 minutes, something's come up. OmniFocus can show me all the phone calls that I've got to make. It doesn't matter what the project is or the task. It's just, here's this for the phone calls, and I can knock a couple of them.
Let me say, I don't put everything in OmniFocus. I mean, pretty much everything, but not everything. For example, if something comes in and it's just quick to do, well, then I'll do it. I won't bother schlepping around OmniFocus, adding it to a project and giving it a date and tagging it with. Just do it and get on with it. I don't put in
tea breaks.
Exactly. I don't put in lunches or tea breaks or anything like that. Tasks, things I've got to do, go in there. And the fact that they're in there, that's all I really need at the moment. I just need them to be in there so that I can trust they're waiting for me. Now, the thing is, when are they waiting? Am I going to put something in there and just forget about it and not see it because I never look at all of that project list? If I don't have a date on it, it won't go in the forecast view. So does that mean I'll never see it? No, I will see it if it has a date on it, because when that date comes around, I'm told about it. But also, about once a week, OmniFocus will remind me to do what's called a review. Now, a review is actually a getting things done idea. Getting things done is the productivity methodology by David Allen. GTD is as the cool kids call it. A part of GTD is to do a weekly review, which means you look at all of your tasks in all of your projects and you do some thinking about them. It truly amazes me that there are a lot of to-do apps around that say they follow this GTD format and they don't include the review. It is gigantically important, and I'm astonished you could even call yourself GTD app if you don't have it. But who cares? OmniFocus does, and OmniFocus does it particularly well. Let's see if I can actually, have I got anything to review, or am I completely up to date? Yeah, it's not, well, I don't have many to do. I said once a week, that's the kind of theoretical ideal. I have something like 50 projects on the go, some of which I'm working on every day, some of which I'm working on every 3 or 4 months. So I tell OmniFocus I want to review this every week. That one can wait. I have a shopping one. You saw shopping with my jeans size. I don't really need to contemplate the deeper meaning of my shopping list once a week. I'll put something in it and then I'll buy it. You have to review everything. But with a shopping list, I've just said, yeah, once a year, prompt me and I'll pretend I've thought about it. With everything else, what's left here is Royal Television Society, Timor Clients is a blog I write. I can look at this, and I usually find when I look at something for review that actually I've done a few of the tasks and I tick them off here. It feels great. What's also quite common is that I will look at the list and think, oh yeah, I meant to do that, and it's become urgent now. I know something's come up, I'm going to have to do something on that this week, so I might tag it this week, or like this one, I might tag it with today. And there might be for some reason that a deadline has come up, an actual date. Well, I'll just put it in here now. Like these two have some tomorrow ones are fine. There's also going to be the case, perhaps the most common and probably the most useful, which is I look at this list of things I've got to do, and thinking about it, I remember other things I need to do. This one is about finding and filling out a form. Well, it's an event production form. I need to know more details about the event. So actually, let me do here. let's see.
Yeah, on Friday.
Fine. I've started a task. Next time I come round to review, it'll be there, or if I put a date on it. In fact, actually, I think I will do that on
Friday.
I think I need to deliver on Friday, so
Friday?
I'm going to start Wednesday. For
Can't
that
be
one.
like that.
I go through it, I sort it out, and then I tick it as mark reviewed. And let's just do that. I'll just get rid of those as well. Now I'm all done. And the thing with being all done is I have taken all of my tasks in, and it's usually a lot longer. It's usually 20 or 30 projects, but I've thought about them all. Certainly 50 tasks, maybe 150, it depends. But I've thought about every single one. I've marked some as completed, because I have done them and just haven't got there yet on the list. I delete quite a few, actually, because it's got to a stage where, actually, no, I'm not that fussed about this. Or I'm never going to get that done. Get rid of it. And I will set a date, I will add a task, I will add some information, something like that. With any of these tasks, you can add lots more detail. You can add in links to websites if you like. If the message came through an email, then there will be a link in the task description back to that email for it. So there's lots you can add to a task, and you can think about it all. And then when you've thought about it, gone. You finish the review, forget everything, and go back to trusting that OmniFocus is going to prompt you when you have to do something, and it's going to keep everything for when you're ready to do something.
I make it sound as if I live in OmniFocus, but I can stop any time. For example, fancy a cup of tea?
Actually, yeah, I do. I let this go cold earlier. See you in the kitchen?
Deal. You forgot your mug.
Do you see now why I prefer talking to you than messing around with either of them? I think you also see that I've been, rather than gabbing on about doing tasks and getting them done and reviewing them and all that, I've just been doing one. You see that task in the forecast view, an hour on the novel? That is so satisfying. And that's it for 58 Keys this time. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to do the YouTube clicky dance thing, the subscribe thing. That does help me out an awful lot. And take care of yourself, will you? I'll see you soon.